All
you
right.
know. Okay.
Sorry, I meant to cut you off. We have one more question for you. As a creator of effects, how do you decide when a trick is first mature, that you've completed the idea on some level, and number two, let's say ready for something like live performance, television performance, or even selling it to the magic community? How do you know when a trick is ready to be called up for the big show, as it were?
Um, well, that's a tough question. It's hard to. I personally don't think that anything's ever really complete. I think that there's maybe a point in which it might plateau, and then you feel like, okay, well, I guess it's ready, whatever. Um, I feel like a lot of my stuff is ready for publication once I can sense that other people are about to publish it, or other versions of it. Um, I That's basically that's basically my melting point. Um, my personal feeling is that secrets are, the secrets that we have, and the secrets that we use to perform what we do are something that should be held really close to us for as long as we possibly can. And what we find is that the longer we hold them to us, the more individuality that particular effect or that particular concept or whatever have you ends up creating around it. It ends up becoming more of this thing. And a lot of the stuff that I've recently published are works that I've been that I've been basically just continually adding and crafting and just kind of chipping away at for about like 20 years or so. So
Like some
there's
kind of magic snowball, just gathering knowledge and experience, right?
I'm just messing around with the concept and stuff like that. And frankly, I really wasn't. It wasn't really in my plan to eventually. Well, I guess somewhere deep in the recesses of my mind, I said to myself, well, one day I'll write this master book or whatever. But I guess I'm like, maybe halfway through my life at this point anyway. At least. I should. So I thought to myself, maybe I should just go ahead and start writing little bits and pieces of what I feel, I've kind of taken to a certain level, and then I just started doing that. But I would say that with regards to creating effects, I've talked to other people that say, three improvements on an old idea could potentially, put your name on a particular effect. I don't know whether that's necessarily the criterion or not. I think that really once an effect becomes sort of your signature piece, and I don't really know what it means to define a signature piece, or once an idea or a concept becomes your signature concept, then I think you just know. I think you just know that that's when it is what it is. Strangely, I guess that from looking at some of some of the folks out there selling stuff, you see that there are some people out there that really don't feel that way at all.
Yeah.
In fact, you don't need a single improvement in order to just take it and call it yours. You need to just manufacture it and put an instruction sheet
You,
with it.
you just need to call it yours,
So I mean, I think everyone has their different ideas of what would necessarily be original or whatever. But I personally think that if you really want to look at it from a creator standpoint, or even like someone who really thinks about this on an artistic level, what have you, I think that the direction that we mystery artists have are people. We generally have a tendency to, especially those who are professional entertainers, have a tendency to take ideas or concepts that we like, use them in our show. Usually they work so well in our show that there's no reason to publish them, because we're making so much money off of them by doing, private shows that
Yeah.
it doesn't matter anyway. So meanwhile, while they're basically in that show and we're working on it, extra ideas end up coming into it. An audience member blurts out some line and that ends up going into the show, and then just it ends up building on top of it until eventually you have this really nice piece of work that is able to work in. You figure out directions in which you can do this impromptu. You figure out directions in which you can do this, better suited for stage, better suited for close up, and it's just you kind of the more you work with it, the more you own it, and so my feeling is that the worst mistake that most magicians who are out there on the market of magic will have a tendency to do is, in my opinion, just create magic and just put it right out on the market. I mean, my feeling is that, if magic is to be performed, I mean, I know that there's sort of like this kind of world that we live in, which kind of halfway consists of performers and partway consists of creators. But I mean, I personally think that, even the creators of magic, I mean, if you really want that effect to have any meaning, then you should test drive it for a while. And so my feeling is that, and mainly it's because we live in this internet world where, which is kind of like they call it the media monster. I mean, it will eat all of your intellectual property. It'll literally as fast as you can create it, it will soak it up like a sponge. So my feeling is, and so the problem that we have as creators is that we come up with like these ideas, and then all of a sudden it's like we're ready to put it out on the web. I think that if we just slowed down a little bit and started to just work on ideas and let it kind of really work itself out and make itself into something really cool, and then understand how to cultivate it so that it becomes more and more impossible, or sets certain limits or criterion that you didn't think it originally set forth, then you're doing more and more to just sort of own that particular effect, and the longer you work with it, the more it becomes yours anyway. I mean, the bottom line is we all stand on the shoulders of those people who came before us. Very, very rarely does somebody actually come up with a completely original idea, and just as fast as somebody does that, someone's ready to stand on their shoulders. So, I mean, my feeling is there's endless ideas out there, and it's just a matter of it's number one, a matter of just recognizing who came before you, and then number two, being able to understand the parameters of what they set forth, and then understand how to apply those and improve those in the ways that you feel fit more to your style or liking.
I'll tell you what, Alain, we've asked that question to all of the creators that we've had on this podcast thus far, and you have far and away given the most complete answer. And I think for everybody who's thinking about releasing tricks or adding into the repertoire, this is certainly something that everybody should listen to. But it boils down to me to three words you said early on there, which is I just know, and developing that sense of when you know might be, I think, the greatest challenge for a creator, is trusting that instinct that it's either ready or it's not. Unfortunately, though, this interview has come to a close. I've run out of questions, but I would like to thank joining us, be kind enough to being able to join us from his home, is Alain Nu. Alain, thank you very, very much.